Hello everyone. This lecture is for the subject System Design and Analysis. It's an open elective subject for third year BE student in MBM Engineering College, Jodhpur. We have covered Unit 1 in particular lecture previously. Now in this lecture we'll discuss a case study of the application of system development life cycle in healthcare sector. So system development life cycle is a very important concept as far as system analysis and design is concerned. So once we try to analyze and design a particular system, this plays an important role in whole process. So we'll come to know more about system development life cycle, and we'll try to understand this concept using a case study. So here I have picked a case study of healthcare system. So let us start with the basics of system development life cycle. It has five different phases: planning, analysis, design, implementation, and maintenance. This we have discussed in particular lecture for Unit 1. So planning includes the project assess feasibility study. Analysis includes the needs and processing the needs. Then design includes the solution system based on requirement. Implementation includes construct, testing, and training and installation of a new system, while maintenance is used to keep the system healthy and improve. So we'll discuss these phases in a health care system, how we can implement this system development life cycle in a particular application. So I have picked a healthcare system case study to explain the various phases of system development life cycle. So by following the stages of system development life cycle, the objective here is to get an effective software product that can be identified, selected, and implemented in a hospital. So we are into a project of getting a software that will be used in a healthcare system. So let us see the overview of this case study. Home care is portion of healthcare system that is carried out at the patient's residence. The results are transmitted to the hospital electronically processed and monitored. So patients are there in their house, in their residence, and doctors and hospital monitor their progress electronically. They get all the reports. This is how they operate, how they implement the healthcare system in home and residents, so they can easily monitor remotely the health of patients. Now how do we use this system development life cycle in this case? So objective here is to investigate the acquisition and purchase of a software that facilitates and that helps coordinate the health care option of the hospital business. So we are into looking into a software that helps in home healthcare portion in hospital business. So how we'll choose this, how we'll implement this, how we'll monitor this, how we will be operating and maintaining this particular system software, that we will cover in this lecture. So it start with planning part. So we are discussing about our planning part, what we plan once we go for purchasing a particular software. So this planning starts with meeting with both management and the end users at the home health facility. So we are starting to plan to purchase a software for a home healthcare portion of the hospital, and now we are starting with the meeting with both management and the patients. So this is the planning part. Next comes the analysis part. Now how do we analyze the system requirements, system phases, system implementation, and its progress? So once to analyze this, we start with the problem definition. So here the problem is to modernize the operations with current technology. So they have their own system right now and they want to modernize this. They want to upgrade the existing system of the hospital so that they can manage the health home healthcare system in more efficient way. So the beginning of analysis phase is broken into three areas of feasibility. So feasibility study is very important as far as analysis part is concerned, and in this feasibility study we consider three kinds of feasibility. We'll see this. So hospital budget is rupees 2 lakh for procurement of this software. So this is the economic feasibility. and the IT infrastructure is adequate to support the new software that make sure you about the technical feasibility, and the support staff and end users are well trained and enthusiastic about adopting the new technology. So this is our operational feasibility. So we have to do feasibility study first to get the idea of the existing system. So it is feasibly economically feasible, technically feasible, and operational feasible. Then we move forward to design this system. Now we will come to know about the various requirement analysis. So this is the second, we are in the second phase of this system development life cycle, that is analysis phase. So we will come to know what are requirements. The proposed system that we are going to develop should meet the objectives set by the management. So here in this case, when you are going to purchase software for a home healthcare system for a particular hospital, what could be the requirements? So one requirement is the compatibility. That means new software should be compatible with the existing setup of the hospital. Then the second requirement is the point of care document. So there is a document, electronic medical record, point of care document in patient's room. We need to keep this in records once we use software. Third, very important, government link for reimbursement, because software must have feature to link with government agency as part of the required home care assessment for reimbursing the healthcare provider. So whatever expenses a hospital is having in maintaining the home healthcare system, they must get reimbursement for the same. So that software should have certain feature that connects to the government body for reimbursement of the expenses. Then there must be a feature for physical portal. So the chosen software package must have an entryway for the attending resident or primary caregiver physician to interact with the system. Then other requirements are special billing and accounts receivable modules tailored to home health with real-time reports. So these are the few requirements a new software should have, and we should analyze and design a new software and to purchase a new software based on this requirement. So this is the part of analysis of system. Then the third part of analysis phase is to evaluate the available options. So now we are going to evaluate the various options we have. So suppose we have contacted several vendors to purchase this software. So a few vendors come to you to show their capability to present their product. So suppose vendor A has implementation installation team to assist with software development. They also maintain a database of cases describing the most frequently occurring problems. Similarly, we have vendor B that sponsors an annual user conference where users can share experiences with using the product, as well as provide feedback to be incorporated into future releases. Similarly, we have third vendor, vendor C, that offers a cloud computing choice, in that the product is hosted in their data center. So we don't need to have computing facility and storage facility. We should not, we don't have required storage and computing facility at our end. We can simply give data to the vendor C. They will do the exercise of computing and all. So these are the various vendors, various options available in the market. We'll see how we proceed further after knowing the requirements, after knowing the available option. This ends the analysis phase. Next comes the design phase, phase 3 of the system development life cycle, where we are using this in a healthcare system. So after knowing the requirements, after knowing the various options available for the software, now we are going to go for design phase of the system development life cycle. So software products are existing because we have several vendors for the software. So the design stage of this system development life cycle has already been carried out by the vendors because they have designed the software. Similarly, coding, testing and debugging of program modules have been performed by each vendor candidate. So whatever options we have right now, we have the complete design of the software, testing, debugging of the program modules. So all this is completed at the vendor's end. We need not to do at our end because we are simply purchasing software. but design must be complete, and that we need to check. So this we can check in this phase 3 design. So after analyzing all the features, pros and cons and cost and benefits associated with each product, we need to make a choice. So we have certain different choices with this vendor A, B, C. Now we need to make a choice what option we should go with. So how do we choose that particular option out of all available options? User, the hospital management environment is a key component to a system success. So and after careful review of all the brochures, websites, proposals and related document all vendor, we need to make a choice. Suppose we invite vendor B for a site visit and demonstration. So we somehow, as per the requirement of user, as per our constraint, we choose vendor B, which is found most suitable among all the vendors. Now above this also, if we are selecting vendor B, then also we can make a suitable arrangement to get a customized solution put into use as per requirement of user. So if somehow we don't get complete fulfillment of our requirement, we can request the most appropriate vendor that we need that feature to be added to your existing product. Then they do exercises and they provide us the solution. So this is how we get the customized solution as per our requirements, that we can exercise also. So till now we are on the stage phase 3 of system development life cycle, and we have now chosen this vendor B for our software purchasing. Next comes the phase 4, that is implementation. How do we implement once we get know about the requirement, get once we know the objectives, once we have all options with us, once we choose the best option among all these options available. Now how do we implement that particular system in our setup, in particularly for our healthcare system, what for what we are talking right now. So how do we implement, and that we take care in phase 4, that is implementation phase. So there are several methods of implementation or the software implementation for healthcare system. Number one is the direct installation, where the old system is simply removed and replaced with the new software. Second one is the parallel installation, where old and new systems are run side by side until at some point use of the former software is eliminated. Third one is the single location installation. It involves using test installation to identify any bugs or usage problems before committing to the new software on a large scale. Then last one is the phased installation. It is the process of integrating segments of program modules into stages of implementation, ensuring that each block works before the whole software product is implemented in its entirely. So there are several methods available to implement a particular idea of purchasing a software for a healthcare system. So the management and the consultant and the user, they can sit together and they can decide which implementation method they should opt. So suppose in this case study, we choose the parallel installation technique. So the home care unit of hospital utilizes the parallel installation method for approximately 60 days before the go live. So before actually adopting this new software, we run this parallelly with the old software for 60 days. So this is what we are supposing, what we are proposing to the current customer, the hospital. So hospital staff will double enter the patient's records and admission data into both the old and the new system to ensure that the new database is populated, while at the same time maintaining patient care with the former product until its disposal. So we are continuously putting all the data, we are doing all the exercises, regular exercises in the hospital with old as well as new software to test the capability of the new software. Once the go live date is reached, the new system performs quite well with a minimal amount of disruption. If this is the case, then we come to the conclusion that yes, the software is working well. Similarly, training of staff we can commence 2 weeks before the go live date. because before the particular date from which we are using the new software, we can train our staff also. So this is how we are implementing our new system. Of the approximately, suppose there are 25 users, half are trained in the first week and rest in the next. Staff must perform a live visit with one of their patients using the new system. Thus, they will already have experience with it in a hands-on environment before switching it to the new product and committing to it on a full-time basis. So, if you are trying a new system and you want to implement that system, there are several ways which we have discussed, out of which the user select the most appropriate method of implementation. Then they do implement the new software in the home healthcare system. What are the different steps we have discussed in last 2 3 slides. So this is how you can implement this phase of system development life cycle in a home healthcare system of a hospital. So this is how we are training the staff, this is how we are collecting the data with old and new softwares, and then we can use this new software a particular date. Before that we can do testing with our new software. And last phase comes as the maintenance. If we are uh, in this phase, and when you have planned, you have designed, you have implemented the new software, now this comes in the last, that comes the maintenance phase of the system development life cycle, where the software upgrades are performed every 6 weeks. Such upgrades are important as changes to billing practices are common occurrence in hospital cases. So these phases we have discussed, and that particularly for the case of a home healthcare system of a hospital. So we have discussed the various phases of system development cycle up to now, keeping in our mind a case of a hospital. Now, what are the important points of discussion here? Once we complete this case study, we should familiarize ourselves with the current environment as well as grasp an understanding of the criteria set forth by the stakeholders and user and management. Then core functional areas of the study, that means marketing, management, accounting, are highly integral to the project and hand, and key components such as billing, scheduling, patient care, electronic medical records are critical success factors in almost any business need to be considered. So we can conclude that an adaptation of the system development life cycle is applied to a healthcare setting in this case study, and it shows that concepts learned in a classroom environment, such as system development life cycle in system design analysis, this course, can be effectively applied in a business or, in our case, healthcare environment. Engineering students can pick an application domain specific to their discipline, and then the benefits of such an exercise are that it provides students real world experience in applying concepts learned in course to practical uses. So whichever branch you have in engineering, you just try to implement, just try to use this system development life cycle method for your domain. Like if you are a electrical engineer, you try to use this in your electrical system. If you are mechanical engineer, you're trying to, please try to use it in mechanical. If you are civil engineer student, you can try it this you can try this concept in a civil engineering system. So this is how we can use a system development life cycle method in different applications. Here in this lecture we have tried to understand that how in a healthcare system we can use the system development life cycle, and how we can analyze and develop a new system in the existing system to modernize that hospital management system. Thank you.